Tonight on Ctv3 News, police investigate home invasion in August Pine Ridge. BSI ASR faces members of the commission as day 2 of the public consultations get underway here in the north. The matter of sugar shortage and the pollution of the New River is highlighted. A cop is charged with drug trafficking after his home is searched, and Belize now has a Coast Guard drone squadron. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Wednesday, August 28, 2024.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speed flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Vacancy. A vacancy exists at Centaur Communications Corporation Limited for a video editor videographer in the media department. As a video editor videographer, you will be responsible for capturing and editing video content for various platforms, including social media, websites, and promotional campaigns. Key responsibilities: capture high-quality video footage for various projects, including interviews for news and morning show, events, and promotional materials. Edit and assemble footage into polished final products, incorporating graphics, sound, and effects as needed. Assist in the broadcasting of the morning show and evening news. Collaborate with the creative team to brainstorm and develop concepts for video projects. Manage multiple projects simultaneously, ensuring deadlines are met and quality is maintained. Qualifications: you must possess experience as a videographer and video editor, proficiency in video editing software, Adobe Premiere Pro, After Effects, DaVinci Resolve, Adobe Audition, and Photoshop, experience with camera equipment and lighting setups, eye for detail, ability to work independently and collaboratively in a fast-paced environment, ability to work flexible hours, excellent communication and organizational skills. Willing to learn vMix, TriCaster, Data Video, and vMix UTC if no experience. Interested applicants may submit a letter of application along with their resume, 2 letters of reference, and a police record no later than Friday, August 30, 2024 to Human Resources Manager, Centaur Communications Corporation Limited, 61 Queen Victoria Avenue, Orange Walk Town.
The BTIA Orange Rock chapter does it once again with the 7th Annual Tourism Expo. Come out on Saturday, August 24th, 2024 as of 10 a.m. at the Orange Rock Central Park and get great deals with BMDC, Hello Body Belize, Enchantment, and much more. Or visit informational booths including BTIA, RFNG, BTB, and Digi. There will be lots of foods and drinks to choose from. Throughout the day, embrace our melting pot of culture with presentations from the Palmar Dance and Cultural Group with their Baile de la Cabeza, and a special demonstration by the Kinich Aha, Pokta Pok team, and a Baile del Machete. Enjoy the dynamic music.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Last night we told you about the aggravated burglary that occurred in the village of August Pine Ridge in the Orange Walk district in broad daylight. The incident played out at around 7 in the morning as 58-year-old Jovita Blanco was walking out of her home. Her husband, Erlindo Blanco, was out in the yard at the time. According to Jovita, as she was walking out the door, 3 men, 2 of dark complexion and 1 of Hispanic descent, all concealing their identity with rags, arrived at the residence. One of the individuals, who was armed with a gray 9mm firearm, he is the one who approached her and demanded that she hand over the money. According to Jovita, she only had approximately $200 in her purse, and when she told this to the men, they insisted that she hand over the rest of the cash, which she did not have. The man then escorted Jovita into the house, which they ransacked, and that is when they found approximately $100 under one of the mattresses. Thirsty for more money, the men then proceeded to search Jovita's daughter's house located in the same yard. Finding nothing, the men then left in a gray vehicle heading towards the village of Shipyard. Today, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams spoke about the incident.
Yes, there is some information that 2 or 3 armed men, 2 of dark complexion, 1 of Hispanic descent, entered a home and they ransacked the house. In one instant, they took, I think, just over $400. And then in another house nearby, associated with the same first home, they took just over $200 and they left the area. No one was injured, and so police are looking at that matter.
How long is it?
Luckily, no one was hurt during the incident. The Commission of Inquiry into the Sugar Industry continued today at Escuela Secundaria Técnica Mexico in the Corozal district. As we mentioned yesterday, the 6-member commission is tasked with a wide range of responsibilities outlined within its terms of reference, including measuring the efficiency of milling factories in Belize, while identifying the inefficiencies that exist. The commission is also working to assess the cost and efficiency of sugarcane cultivation, harvesting, and transportation. At the end of the day, the Commission is expected to provide recommendations on the best approach to modernize the industry on a whole. Today, personnel from the Belize Sugar Industries Limited returned before the Commission to answer questions on the milling process, environmental compliance, marketing of northern sugar, and even diversification within the industry. The morning session focused mainly on the technical aspects of the sugar mill, including efficiency of the mill as well as investments carried out within the mill in recent years. Finance Director for BSI ASR, Sean Chavarria, highlighted 3 main projects which the mill has identified to combat bottlenecks faced when trying to meet its milling capacity of 1.3 million tons within a crop season.
We had identified some debottlenecking projects to again consolidate at the 1.3 million tons of cane level. And there were 3 key projects that we identified that would help debottleneck some of these areas. One, we've identified that mud has become a bigger challenge, dealing with the mud and extraneous material. And so for that, we identified that we could possibly install a cane cleaning system before the cane enters the mill. And so all the trash and mud, we would try to extract a good amount of that before it goes to the mill. And then installation of a mud belt to try to help get out the mud faster. And then the quintuple effect, as Mr. Leiva has highlighted, would be another project to improve boiling house capacity, steam efficiency, so that we can move out the material. Combine those projects were around between 9 to 10 million US. But again, because of the issues that we've been having the past few years in securing long-term agreement with all 4 associations, it's been a project that we sort of held off until we see improvement on that front. But we've identified those 3 projects as some key debottlenecking projects that could help improve our milling rate.
The afternoon session of the public hearing focused more on the marketing side of sugar produced by the manufacturer. As an ACP country, Belize has continuously enjoyed preferential markets in both the U.S. and EU markets, which BSI's Sean Chavarria says results in better prices and conditions for Belize's products, including both raw and direct consumption sugar.
What we do is we try to do market forums every year where we give highlights of what's taking shape in the different markets. So perhaps I could give a general overview. So from our production, approximately 90% of our production of sugar is exported, and 10% remains for the domestic market. And from that 90%, roughly 50% goes as raw sugar and 50% goes as value-added sugar. For raw sugar, we have a quota to the Belize has a quota to the U.S. And from time to time, there would be reallocations. And that sugar is sold under preferential pricing, so it's usually one of the highest priced product that we would obtain. And then the balance goes and is sold to the EU and the UK as raw sugar. As I mentioned, the EU went deregulation of its sugar market a few years ago, and so while Belize, like other ACP countries, enjoys preferential access, we no longer have preferential pricing. That said, we do get, for raw sugar sold to the EU, we have a contract with TLS Sugars where we would get the highest premium that is paid to other ACP countries. So we're confident that we are getting the best price in comparison to other ACP countries. And that, again, that benefit is shared with the farmers.
He also explained the most recent access for Caribbean sugar in the CARICOM market.
We're doing roughly 15 to 20,000 tons of direct consumption sugar in the Caribbean community. That sugar, we have both preferential access and we are able to get a premium because of the tariff protections that exist. So again, CARICOM is one of our best markets to sell sugar to. And then finally, we have direct consumption sugar sold in the EU. That is a much more competitive market because we're not only competing with other ACP countries, but also Central America and some Asia Pacific. So there, it's more, the price competition is very tight, and price normally follows what the market conditions are. So, and then on molasses, we sell molasses to trade houses. And what we do is we sell essentially to the highest bidder. We just have 1-year agreements, and whoever offers the best value and the best price is where we would sell the molasses to. And so we provide these updates at least annually to the associations, explain what are the trends, what is happening in the markets. And then we also provide the contracts for the sale of these products to the associations for them to validate the payment for cane.
Towards the future, BSI ESR says it is looking at producing refined white sugar for the Caribbean region.
5-6 years ago, I think we were selling to around 10 countries. Today, we're selling to close to 30 countries around the world. That includes the European Union. So we've been making very good inroads. And I also mentioned that roughly 50% of our production currently is in value add and 50% is in direct consumption. And the investments we've made has given us a capacity to increase that 50% to around 2/3 of the capacity of the mill. So there is an opportunity with the investment that we've done to expand that. And so every year we continue to make inroads into these new markets. Another area of opportunity, which would require some government support we've started having a discussion, is in the Caribbean also imports refined sugar, but there is no protection for refined sugar. And so that could be another area of opportunity for countries like Belize to see if we can get a similar type of protection if we can make this refined sugar so that the region doesn't have to import refined sugar. So that is also another value add opportunity that I think exists for the medium and long term to get into possibly doing refined sugar for the region. But that would obviously entail significant investment, and we would go back to some of these critical steps that would need to be done to provide the right climate to do so.
A few years ago, BSI-ASR came under public scrutiny after the New River underwent a major eutrophication to the point where it was completely lifeless. BSI, along with other larger industries in the area, were blamed for the terrible condition of the river. Since then, BSI-ASR has been working with the Department of the Environment on determining the root cause of the river's yearly deterioration. The condition of the New River was brought up in today's hearing, calling BSI again as a contributor of the situation. The company, however, was quick to dispel blame from the factory, saying that the yearly event is mostly in line with the dry versus rainy season.
When you say that you have invested in a water treatment plant, wasn't it under design? Or if it has been properly designed, isn't the amount of organic matter going to that in excess of what it had been designed?
What we monitor on a daily basis is temperature and chemical oxygen demand and dissolved oxygen. And the results we obtain are within the parameters.
Well,
I do know that during the dry season, I think this year, because of the heightened dry season, there were reports of certain sections of the New River showing the same characteristics that we saw back in 2019 when there was, I think, eutrophication that was developing. But a lot of that is coming from not only the characteristics of the river, with the New River being the movement is very slow, and you actually get salt water in the peak of the dry season coming back. But then you also have runoff from other agricultural activity and municipality as well. So it is a community. It really is a community issue that I know the DOE is actively studying. I know they're currently doing some evaluations to see some technologies that could be used to treat the New River. But the New River, we know from studies that the flow of it is, the river itself is very flat. It doesn't flow like others. And then you have the nutrients from other agricultural sectors and communities and municipalities that are adding loading to it. And so I know it's something that the DOE is looking at.
What is the situation right now?
Well, with the start of the rainy season, if you were to go to the community now, those areas, the river is back to normal. It has the characteristics where the river is flowing, it's more brown. Those films that were being seen were no longer there. So, and that's because we've now transitioned to the rainy season. Before that, I think during the visit, we were coming off a very, very extended dry period.
So if I go back there will be no foul smell at this moment?
I don't think you will find that, no.
And funnily enough, it coincides with you stopping your activity.
I think it's more related to the hot and dry season.
As one of the terms of reference in the work of the Commission, BSI-ASR was today also asked to outline its environmental compliance procedures relating to wastewater as well as air emissions.
For liquid waste,
Always.
for liquid waste first, we have our wastewater treatment plant, where we do anaerobic purification with the addition of bacteria. And once it has a purified level to the standards of that the DOE demands, then we release to the river stream. Or, sorry, or solid waste from garbage and what we call solid waste, that we dispose of it at the mile 24 site, right, where it is disposed, and we make payments for the tonnages of waste that we dispose at that site. For mud disposal, we have an approved site, also approved by the DOE, where we dispose of it there. And then we have the agricultural department who makes use of some of that mud waste.
Commissioner, yes, we do. We have several ways that we look at the area monitoring process. Basically, what we do is that we have internal monitoring process in which we have handheld equipment, in which we have different areas within and around the plant, in which we monitor different parameters such as PM10, PM2.5, etc. No? So we do that and we record that particular information. In addition to that, we also do noise monitoring as well in different areas. And based on those analyses, also what we have done is that we have done risk assessment in order to determine, for example, the areas where hearing protection is necessary as well, and we have labeled those particular areas. Furthermore, on a yearly basis also, actually bi-yearly I would say, is that we have a independent company that comes and does analysis for us. And this company that we're using at this point is from Mexico, and they come and do the noise survey for us. They also do the environmental around the plant also, which includes the PM10, PM2.5, sulfur dioxide, etc. And we also do stack testing on each of the boilers also. That is done again in twice a year at this point. And that the data is passed to us, and that information is also submitted to the Department of Environment.
The Belize Police Department has charged one of their own with a drug charge after they searched his residence in Belize City. The search was carried out last night at the officer's home and led to the discovery of suspected marijuana. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams spoke about the incident with reporters today.
A barrel of weed?
Yes, yesterday the police searched a home on Bannock Street. That search led to the discovery of, I think, either a kilo or a pound of marijuana. The police later learned that a police officer also resides at the house. And so based on that, the two persons who were present and the police officer has been arrested and charged for drug trafficking.
Coming up next, Commission of Inquiry questions the sugar shortage in the local market. Could they have a solution? Stay tuned.
Vacancy. A vacancy exists at Centaur Communications Corporation Limited for a video editor videographer in the media department. As a video editor videographer, you will be responsible for capturing and editing video content for various platforms, including social media, websites, and promotional campaigns. Key responsibilities: capture high-quality video footage for various projects, including interviews for news and morning show, events, and promotional materials. Edit and assemble footage into polished final products, incorporating graphics, sound, and effects as needed. Assist in the broadcasting of the morning show and evening news. Collaborate with the creative team to brainstorm and develop concepts for video projects. Manage multiple projects simultaneously, ensuring deadlines are met and quality is maintained. Qualifications: you must possess experience as a videographer and video editor, proficiency in video editing software, Adobe Premiere Pro, After Effects, DaVinci Resolve, Adobe Audition, and Photoshop. Experience with camera equipment and lighting setups. Eye for detail. Ability to work independently and collaboratively in a fast-paced environment. Ability to work flexible hours. Excellent communication and organizational skills. Willing to learn vMix, TriCaster, Data Video, and vMix UTC if no experience. Interested applicants may submit a letter of application along with their resume, 2 letters of reference, and a police record no later than Friday, August 30, 2024 to Human Resources Manager, Centaur Communications Corporation Limited, 61 Queen Victoria Avenue, Orange Walk Town.
The Public Utilities Commission continues to drive changes for Belize's utility and ICT sectors by creating new regulations and updating existing laws and rules to elevate the legal framework for water, telecommunication, and electricity. Overall, our work at PUC allows for better protection of consumers and the environment, a comprehensive integration of renewable energy sources into the national power grid, assures businesses continuity of utilities, promote competition and investments, and enhances national development in Belize. PUC, transforming the utility and ICT sectors by modernizing the regulatory framework.
We're calling it a multipurpose park because it will have a variety of services and amenities. So right to my left here will be a state-of-the-art parking lot. Immediately in front of that, in 2 acres, we will have a hotel and convention center. Then on this side here, it's going to be recreational areas. On the northeast side, we're going to have an amphitheater for musicians so that persons visiting could have high-quality entertainment with our well-known artists in Dangriga.
With this project, it gives the community an opportunity to work, to invest, to grow. More revenues for the town council. That means more streets, more drains, more parks, more playgrounds. The economy grows.
All of us have collaborated on making this a reality, and certainly this will have a huge impact in terms of employment, in terms of quality of life.
This evening when we're looking at the park and the multi-purpose use of this park, this green area, and convert it to a park, again it has to do with people, that they could bring people together.
Win big with Centaur. As a valued customer, we're showing our appreciation for your continued loyalty with an incredible promotion. Update your account and receive 1 ticket to win $1,000 cash towards your child's education expenses. Get an extra ticket for every month you pay in advance. 1 lucky winner for each of our 3 branches will receive $1,000 cash. Drawing date September 6 on the Despierta Belize morning show. Don't miss this opportunity to secure your child's education. Update your account now. Start earning those entry tickets and win big with Centaur.
At today's public hearing of the Commission of Inquiry into the Sugar Industry, the matter of local sugar also came into discussion, as the Commission intended to get clarity on the recent situation of sugar shortage which affected the country a few weeks ago. On this matter, BSI maintains that while local supply has increased, other external factors like illegal smuggling of our sugar across neighboring Mexico and Guatemala have played a role in the shortages which have been reported. On this matter, BSI says it has provided various possible solutions to the government.
From our standpoint, we're making the product available. So somewhere in the supply chain, the sugar is not reaching its intended destination. And we have been working with the Supplies Control Unit. We share with them information in terms of customers that we've been selling to, and who were making the product available, what were the trends from one year to the next. So we provided all of that. We provide them with the stock numbers. But what we believe to be the underlying issue is that there is a major disparity between the price of sugar in Belize versus the regional countries. And so what we suspect is taking place is that because any trader or traders from outside will come to Belize, purchase the sugar, and make a profit by selling it across the border, there is leakage of sugar that is occurring across the border. And so what we have indicated the government are some action is, one, adjust prices, because the price of sugar in Belize has not changed. In the case of brown sugar, it has not changed for 23 years. And in the case of plantation white sugar, it has not increased for 9 years. In addition, what we propose to government is that we could package the sugar, which would make it more difficult for anyone to try to smuggle the sugar. And I did bring a sample, because this is currently a sample of the packaged sugar that we can do. We've been selling a small amount of volume into the Caribbean as a packaged product. And this is something that we've indicated to the government that we could start doing and make available. But the pricing structure would have to be amended to support such a venture. But for us, it's a double benefit. It helps to alleviate any issues with leakages. And then from a food safety standpoint, it's better for the consumer because the product is packaged at the mill, and then there is no handling that has to take place at, say, one of the grocery stores where you have no control what sort of food safety standards they might have. And so I think that's the cause of the issue. I mean, in the case of brown sugar is not, compared to the region, it's low, but even below world market prices. I think currently raw sugar prices is around 18 to 19 cents, and domestic direct consumption brown sugar is sold for 17 cents. So it's even below world market price for sugar, not even to mention world market price for direct consumption sugar. So it's currently being subsidized at this rate.
Music legend Gerald Lord Rayburn was a victim of a hit-and-run accident late on Thursday. The incident happened before midnight in front of his residence on Coney Drive in Belize City. Rayburn sustained injuries to his face and chest. Lord Rayburn is currently in recovery, and police report that the matter is under investigation. But at the same time, reports suggest that officers have refused to go through surveillance footage from the area. Today, the Compol dispelled those reports.
That is not true. I know that I had received a complaint in that respect, and I had checked with Mr. Romero, who is the officer commanding Eastern Division, and he have assured me that they have checked the routes. They have found some footages, but the footages are not clear enough for the police to be able to identify exactly who the person or persons were in that vehicle that was involved in the hitting of Mr. Lord Rayburn. And again, I want to join Renata and Mr. Mendes on their show this morning for saying that the person who have the heart to knock down a elderly citizen is a heartless person. At the very least, they ought to have stopped and see if the senior citizen was okay, and have him ferried to the hospital and take responsibility. But when we have people who would just knock down an elderly man or elderly woman and just drive off, then that is not a human being no more. So I would hope that their guilt is going to play on their conscience, and they're going to come forward and say, you know what, I did it and I'm sorry, and then we can move on from there.
And then
Ryan Melendez, a 22-year-old who was pistol whipped by Sergeant Devon McKinn in San Pedro back in the month of July, has lawyered up and is now suing the police department for violating his rights, and is also requesting court action against McKinn. McKinn, as you might know by now, is a godson of Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, who came under fire after allegedly trying to cover for McKinn, who was captured on video kicking and hitting Melendez on the head with a gun. Today, the Commissioner of Police was asked for his reaction on the lawsuit filed against the department and his godson.
What's the update with his status?
I believe I have commented enough about that matter, and I'm not going to delve any further into that matter.
He's being sued.
Yeah, the person have a right to be sued. Almost every day we get lawsuits from people regarding the conduct of police officers, and in some cases we win, in some cases we lose, and we continue to do as best as we can to minimize the amount of lawsuits that we do get. Mr. Jones has been extremely busy dealing with human rights training, justifiable abuse of force and harm, and the likes, because our objective is always to make sure that we reduce the amount of complaints against the police, and we have made significant stride in that area. And as you, as a member of the media, if you wish to be honest, you can affirm the fact that you're not getting much complaints about police brutality as you used to get in the past. So we just need to continue to do what we have been doing over the past 2 to 3 years to make sure that we continue to take those reports down.
The government of Belize, in its commitment to strengthening the monitoring and enforcement of Belize's ocean space and the conservation and sustainable use of its associate resources under the Blue Bond program, launched the Belize Coast Guard Drone Squadron. This new squadron will bolster the Belize Coast Guard's capabilities by supporting a second fleet in national enforcement involving modern technology to realize effective surveillance and protection of the blue space. The squadron is equipped with 2 perimeter A+ long-range system UAVs, fuel-injected hybrid military drones capable of flying up to 5 hours at a range of 110 miles at a maximum altitude of 13,000 feet. The UAVs are equipped with an infrared EOIR stabilized camera capable of delivering thermal observation alongside long-range visible imagery, which gives you, the BCG Drone Squadron, the ability to conduct missions at night. Today's investment in the sum of 525,450 Belize dollars comes under the framework of government's strategic allocation project funded by the Belize Fund for a Sustainable Future.
We have come here at the Coast Guard headquarters, at this space, as we would say, not just to celebrate the establishment of the Coast Guard Drone Squadron, but to mark a significant step forward for the Belize Coast Guard in safeguarding our marine resources, which are very precious. As a nation, we recognize that Belize's ocean space is more than just an expanse of water. It is the very livelihood of the blue economy. Equally, it is a critical foundation for our prosperity and a source of sustenance for our people. Key sectors such as fisheries and tourism rely on the vibrant ecosystems of our water nature. In 2023, our fisheries sector alone generated approximately $36.4 million, primarily from the spiny lobster and queen conch. This sector alone provides livelihoods for 3,500 fishers across 13 coastal communities. Meanwhile, our tourism industry, where 60% of the activity is marine-based, contributes a remarkable 45% of GDP. This morning, I reiterate that my administration's commitment to developing a robust and thriving blue economy is unwavering. This commitment was made clear with the establishment of the Ministry of the Blue Economy and is now woven into the very fabric of our National Vision Plan Belize. Together, we will secure long-term financial mechanisms to support the sustainable development of our blue space. We are particularly excited about the finalization of our resilient, bold Belize, the world's first project finance or permanence focused on marine and coastal areas. This initiative will further our national policy for a healthy ocean space, support our blue economy, and enhance the well-being of all Belizeans.
Belize Coast Guard is mandated by law to function as a maritime specialized force for the enforcement of Belize's maritime laws, resource protection, safety and operations at sea, and function to enforce or assist in the enforcement of fisheries and the protection of Belize's territorial sea, continental shelf, exclusive economic zone, and fishery zones. With these new drones, the Belize Coast Guard is better equipped to carry out these tasks.
When we got the new caravan, we described it as a game changer in our security operation. I believe today is another game-changing moment in our overall security in this country. Today, the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security is demonstrating a new capability that is being added to its repertoire. We are venturing into the domain of unmanned air systems. This new capability empowers our Coast Guard with the cutting-edge technology required to conduct operations along our maritime border and beyond line of sight well into our exclusive economic zone. The Coast Guard is now able to conduct aerial surveillance in areas previously inaccessible due to distance and sea state limitations. It is a proud moment indeed for the Ministry of National Defense, charged with our security, to have reached this significant milestone in supporting of our national Blue Bond commitment in conserving our blue spaces. The commission of these drones today adds another dimension to the interagency network of operations. These drones will be able to provide live feed to our maritime agencies such as the Fishery Department and NGO partners that are chartered to co-manage our sea spaces. These drones will be able to provide a direct feed into the JIOC to support our maritime operations by providing a common operating picture of vessels operating within our sea spaces. The future is now.
For the head of the Belize Police Department, the development of the drone squadron could not have come at a better time.
I do believe that whatever was done here today in terms of the launch of the Coast Guard drone squadron is going to be helpful to the entire security apparatus. The Coast Guard is our sister agents in terms of law enforcement. They do have the ability to be able to enforce laws on the seas, and from time to time the police do call upon them to be able to assist in search and rescue operations, as well as to take the police from point A to point B when it comes to the maritime domain. You would know that when people do go missing on the waters, they tend to contact the police. Sometimes you have incidents at these remote keys that requires police assistance, and so again, in that respect, the Coast Guard will also be able to assist us. And I'm sure that should there be an event that is mainland and we would seek the assistance of the Coast Guard, they will also assist us in that endeavor to make sure that we can reach areas that would not be able to reach so quickly. So it's a
And now that the Belize Coast Guard has advanced in technology, the Belize Police Department is also looking into obtaining a drone of their own to fight crime, specifically the drug trade in northern Belize.
We're hoping that very soon the police will be able to become a part of what is taking place. The intent is to make sure that the three security forces will be able to have that capability in terms of making sure that we can have drones to be able to assist us in our fight against crime. I can say that we have already the approval from the cabinet to purchase a drone that is going to be used along the illegal or irregular border crossing areas in the north. We have received the finance for it. We're just waiting for the drone to come in. It is not as capable as the one that the Coast Guard launched today, but it will also help us in that respect, though, to be able to ensure that we cover the illegal border crossing areas in the north.
However, obviously, criminal elements now know about the use of drone to fight crime. So what if they too get better equipped or even target the drones? That is what the media asked the poll.
Even a plane can be shut down. So at the end of the day, we must not see that as a distraction from doing what we need to do. I am sure that the pilots will be able to some extent, maneuver, just as a pilot would do in a plane, to avoid being shut down. But if it do happen, then it happens.
Sir,
Prime Minister John Briceño led a Belizean delegation on an official visit to Guatemala where they met with President Bernardo Arévalo. The discussions covered various topics including trade, border issues, and bilateral cooperation. The meeting, according to PM, was highly productive where several ministers presented on topics including trade, the border, and how we can work closer between both countries.
We had a very good meeting with President Arévalo. Several of our ministers presented along with their ministers, and we addressed many issues, including the issue of the trade, border, the Sarstone, and how we can continue to work closer between both countries, and also the issue of the ICG. Quickly, what was agreed to is that we're going to set subcommittees, for instance, in the issue of trade, that will be able to address the stumbling blocks that they're not allowing for the limited PSA that we have signed on, so that can come on board. With the issue of the border incursions and the Sarstone, again, both the BDF and the Guatemalan armed forces are going to meet to be able to work out how is it that we're going to be able to have better communications and coordinations in this area. So it has been a very successful meeting. In the afternoon, there was about almost 20 Belizean investors looking either for A, markets in Guatemala, or B, investors that could come into Belize. We had a meeting at AG Export. It's the largest organization in Guatemala that deals with export of products. And so we had a meeting with them, and then there was a lot of networking to see how while they can access our market, we could also access their market.
The official visit also saw the participation of over Belizean investors looking for markets in Guatemala or opportunities for Guatemalan investors to come into Belize. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
My name is Stacey Badillo. This is my sister Gina Badillo, and we've been owners of this business for the past 19 years. It is called Purple Passion Studio and Spa, and we're located in Kikaker, Belize. I've been part of the credit union for 12 years and Gina for 19 years. Professionally, it's allowed us for our business to grow, and our careers has grown as well.
We have had great customer service at Credit Union.
They're exceptional.
Yes.
For this small island, it's very important, but for our small business, it's even more important. It has changed our lives, the lives of our children, of our families.
I highly recommend St. Francis Credit Union to my children, to my family, to my clients, to everyone that is around me, that it's always the number one.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers! We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speed flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Today marked the end of Special Olympics Camp 2024. Organizers of the event visited each district this year and interacted with participants over the course of 3 days. In Corozal, the camp ended today at the Corozal Methodist Primary School, where parents and children took part in various activities. According to Rodven Lino, the interim national director for Special Olympics, believes the support received this year is overwhelming.
Special Olympics is in the process of re-energizing and revitalizing the program. So this summer what we decided to do was to take a small camp to each of the districts, Corozal being our last camp, and we've been doing it from Monday until today, Wednesday. As a matter of fact, I was thinking that maybe we should extend more days because every day the group grows, and today is our largest turnout yet.
Okay, and what is the message you want to leave as you come to the end of the camp here in Corozal?
Okay, so this is for our special needs people, not only children, but special needs people. To be a part of Special Olympics, you just have to be 8 years old and you could go till you're 99. And this is for them. There's the Olympics that is for elite athletes, and then where do our special needs people go? So you come to Special Olympics, and this is what we do. We provide sporting opportunities for persons with disabilities. We do Olympic type sports for persons with disabilities, but we also do fun games for them to be engaged and keep them engaged. So that's what we decided to do here this week. But what we also do is we feel out our athletes and we see what they like and what they're more interested in, and we try to push them into that.
In order to continue promoting the camp and inclusivity, the Special Olympics has formed a committee in Corozal.
We have a newly formed district committee in Corozal here. It's led by Dr. Julian Brown, and we also have Mrs. Zara Clark, who is at the Special Education Unit for the Ministry of Education, and they two are more spearheading it, but we have an entire committee that is planning a lot of programs in terms of sports for persons with disabilities. Also want to do is to look around, because we have Para Kodikadere coming up, that is the Central American Games for persons with disabilities in schools. So what we're trying to do is to look around to see if we can find athletes that fit certain criteria, and they could then get chosen to represent our country against the other Central American countries. So that's what we're trying to get a feel of as well.
Overall, the group is elated to witness a change in the culture of inclusion and acceptance.
So it is growing. It is a growing acceptance, and it's largely because of persons bringing out their people, and people like yourself and your station exposing, giving our population the exposure that they need. So we want to thank you for coming out and doing this interview and promoting what we're doing here.
At the end of the day, participants were given a certificate of participation. A high-level delegation of senior Belizean defense leaders led by the Minister of National Defense and Border Security, Honorable Florencia Marin Jr., returned to Belize this weekend after a series of meetings with U.S. defense officials in the National Capital Region last week. Accompanying Minister Marin was the Chief of Defense Staff, Rear Admiral John Borland, Commander of the BDF, Brigadier General Azaria Loria, Commandant of the Belize Coast Guard, Rear Admiral Elton Bennett, and the Director General of National Security, Ambassador Oliver Del Cid. Over the course of 4 days, the delegation held discussions with key U.S. government officials, including Gina Nelson, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Western Hemisphere at the Pentagon, and Ruben Lopez, Deputy Director of the Perry Center on Matters of Security Cooperation, Military Training and Education, along with consultations focusing on the implementation of a national security strategy and conceptualization of a national defense strategy for Belize. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Thursday, August 29th here on Ctv3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.